Good morning, Cycle 4 lifers. This is our first video at our new secret studio shooting location in an undisclosed part of America's Rust Belt. So, what do we got going today? Well, what we got going today, guys, is a messy passenger floor. This is actually dirt and wood debris that came off of the little trailer stand there, but the reason this is all wet and muddy looking is because the heater core let go. So it's heater core time, guys. But getting a heater core in a G20 van, oh, it's a bit of a job. It's a process. So I'm going to show you guys how I started. I pulled the lower hose, drained it in this bucket, put it in a receptacle to try to be environmentally conscious. I put this cardboard underneath the bottom to catch all the drips that the bucket missed or splattered. Try to catch as much as I can. Keep the little animals and birdies safe, okay? I pulled these hoses to let, air flow through everything, let it leak down as much as is humanly possible. Alright? So now what I'm going to do, sure, you pull your battery, because you're going to have headlight switches, heater control, blower motor switches, defrost fan switches. You're going to be messing with a lot of electrical parts. Undo that battery so you don't short out or damage any switches or cause any problems that you can't fix when you fix what you're going in for. It'd be a shame to get the heater core in there and then not drive your vehicle because you got electrical fire under your dash. So undo that battery, guys, before you start your job. Let's start pulling this dash apart, because unfortunately the only way to get to a heater core on a Chevy G20 van is to go through the dash. It's a job, so might as well get started. Let's get this area cleaned up, get the doghouse off, get the radio cover off, and then I'll turn the camera back on at that point and show you how to pull this dash. Some 10mm bolts. On this side, you got your hood latches held up by that little screw there. Okay. I don't know what these electronics were there before, some kind of alarm. I don't think any of it works anymore. But get a Phillips across these switch covers. And this switch, I don't know how that pulls off. I'll try to gently pull it. If I can't finagle it there, look inside and see what attaches it here. Guys, make sure when you pull this headlight switch out, you release that tab back there. Okay? If you don't release that tab, you're going to break it. That knob does not come off that metal bar, and if you just keep prying it, you're going to bust that switch. You got to reach down behind the switch, and there's a push button back there. And you push it, and it brings a spring in, or a clip that lets this go, and then this just slides right out. But do not force that or break that. There's other videos on YouTube that show the switch outside the vehicle. It's hard for me to show you here where that push button is. It's kind of back there where you can't see it. But look at the YouTube videos where the switch is outside the vehicle, showing you how to do it. And find that button and push it, because otherwise you'll break your switch. It's $100 to get it fixed. Make sure you're real careful getting these plastic pins out on this connector behind that speedometer. Okay, you want to pull it out nice and straight, because if you don't, you bend these little frills over. See where that one's starting to bend a little bit? And that can mess with getting good grounds and good readings on your speedometer and your gauges and everything else. Okay, this connector is designed to be easy to manufacture. It is not designed to come apart many times and go back together, so be careful with it. Basically behind this box right here. So let's see what we gotta do to get up inside of here. Looks like we got some vacuum hoses in the way. Looks like we got a couple wires in the way. These vacuum hoses are critical, guys. If you lose vacuum, yeah, look at that one. That one was never working from before. Look at that. Yeah, that one's sealed off. Somebody sealed that one off. That's your vacuum control from your heater wires. But yeah, this stuff's all got to work, guys, for you to have proper heat and defrost and all in your vehicle. So alright, I'm gonna get the tinkering and get the right little mini sockets to get some of this stuff apart and get this door opened up. Okay, red, orange, blue, gray. Red, orange, blue, gray. This box out to get to where this, you can get this box out of here. There's a big 10mm headed, you know, coarse thread bolt right there. There's a couple of little ones holding the vents on. I definitely suggest getting the vents out of the way. This one looks like you can pry over a little bit, but get those vents out of the way. Get these tubes off. Get your vacuum lines off. Be careful with these ends. What you do is you push that loop down like that and you slide it off. It came off pretty easy, but you don't want to just yank them and tear them. Somebody did that with this one in years past, and that's why they had to booger it up back together. So on this side, you do need to get the mounting bolt right there off. I didn't need to loosen this box up. That was unnecessary, but you do need to get that mounting bolt there off of the front, or that's on the rear, and then this one off the front. This one here went in there like that. So when you get all that on, you know, separated so the sandwich can come apart, then that box inside will come forward. See the coolant dripping on the floor, guys? Let's see if we can finagle this out here. There's a cable there. I guess technically we should probably try to unhook it, but with all those old rusted fittings, I'm going to see if I can do it without it. Okay. When I got the box out of the vehicle, let's go ahead and see if I can get this disconnected. How am I going to get that out without boogering it up? Yeah, I don't see how I'm going to do that. I'm going to try to work with this. I'm going to try to just work with that in place. See if I can flip this over enough to get this out somehow. There's a door. And if we don't put all these doors and all back right. Oh, look, I found an old key out of something. Who God only knows what it's for. Old key. Probably been in the truck for 30 years. Who knows? Alright, looks like we found some front mounted screws right here to get this box apart. Let me turn the camera off and get all of them out. See if I can split this box. A little tip here. I got all the perimeter screws out. All those. See those? Those perimeter screws going around the box, sealing it everywhere. It still wouldn't come apart. This bracket right here sits under that lever with these two screws. Okay? And it's a cable guide for this louver. If you don't unbolt that cable guide and get it out of there, this box will not come apart. See that? You got to undo these screws for that cable bracket, or you cannot get to the heater core. Alright, and then from there it looks like they just tacked it in with a couple brackets. And we got different size screws in the back. See if we can bend that out of the way. Okay. What a living, loving mess. Getting that out of there. Not to be a smarty pants, and I'll still take some footage and point out critical things as I reassemble. But as is typically the case, assembly is the reverse order of disassembly. So make sure you got, everything padded. That's what these pads are for. Make sure when you mount this, you don't have any hard metal up against a core rubbing anywhere. It'd be a shame to do all this work and have to do it again. Alright, I'm going to turn this camera off because I need 3 hands. I'll see you in a little bit. Okay guys, I got the dash back in so I could put the controls on it and see the gauge cluster. I wanted to run the gauge cluster. Watch your fingers around that fan. By God's grace, don't get your finger behind that fan shroud and cut your fingers off. Modern day automobiles, you kids, you millennials learning to work on cars, you got all these safety fan covers and electric fans that don't have any power with plastic blades what won't cut you. These old school American made trucks, Chevys, Fords, Chryslers, whatever, they got a big metal fan back there and there's no safety behind it. Okay, you get your fingers behind that shroud while that thing's running and it will take your fingers off. So you kids that learn on these new vehicles and go back to working on old stuff, pay attention to what you're doing. We should start to feel, yeah. Let's see if we can get warm, hot air out of the defroster. Turn the defroster on, turn it in the hot position, turn the fan, oh yeah, baby. Yeah, that's a nice, good, hot defrost. So that'll melt the snow off your windshield quick in the wintertime. Oh, let's go to the heat position, make sure it's blowing out of the fairing. Yeah, there it is. It's blowing out of that duct. Blowing out of that duct right there. Let's see if we can get the vent to blow warm air. Yep. Yep, there it goes. There's my warm air coming out of the vent. Put it back on heat. And that kind of slows down a little bit. Yep, that goes away. That goes away, and now it's just coming out of there. Okay, so what did I just test? I just tested that all my environmental controls for the front end of the van are working. I'm convinced that the thermostat did its job. There's hot water starting to cycle through. There's air bubbles in the top of the cooling system. That's why the upper radiator hose is very cold. That means there's air bubbles in there steaming up. So I'm going to let the system cool down. Wait till I can get the radiator cap popped off of it cool, nice and cool. Fill those air bubbles up with coolant and top that off. And then we're done, guys. I mean, it's holding pressure. The thermostat's working. The cooling system's building pressure. All I got to do is get the air out of it. We're going to have a happy system here. So that's how you change the heater core in a 1990 G20 Chevrolet van. I don't do it for money. I just do it because I love you guys. Wear your helmets. Be safe. And, share this video, because if somebody gets into one of my educational videos about motorcycles, it might save a life. All right, guys. Thanks. Peace out.